I may be 1,600 miles south, but we have the webcams, and look at that. Boston Common, kind of shiny. Now, snow on the ground for 9 days in a row through the Christmas season. It's 36 degrees in Boston at 7:15 a.m. Here in Tortola, it's 8:15 a.m. and our sky is gray. Temperature here is 73 with a dew point of 69, and it is breezy. Oh, there's some sunshine over there. Let's run over there and not wake up anybody because it's holiday. It's a Saturday morning, even though it's 8:15. People are sleeping in these bungalows, so I'm gonna try and be kind of quiet. Of course, you always wanna pause for beauty. Pause, beauty, flowers in bloom. Same person on the deck over there as yesterday. Patio. And then we get this little nook and cranny where we're gonna be on the beach here in a moment. And I do not have to talk loudly over the waves because of my very effective noise canceling microphone. I am a bit winded. So the temperature in New England is still cold, but the ground is even colder, and the dew point has come up into the 30s. So even though that image in Boston showed a wet ground, there is probably a lot of ice. Because say your ground temperature is in the 20s because it's been so cold, and it was cold last night, and your dew point comes up into the 30s, it doesn't even take precipitation to make icy spots. And here are the temperatures right around, I think, 5 a.m. New England time. Still some single numbers hanging on in Maine. Still high barometer cold with an inversion. Temperature is going above freezing in southern New England, but like I said, the ground is cold. And one of the warmest spots in all of New England, about the third day in a row, 4,000 feet up Mount Washington Auto Road. It is in the 40s already today. Warm air is less dense than cold. It rides up over the top. This is what I call high barometer cold. And there it is, still a 1030 millibar high that's been here for 3 days. So we went 3 days in a row without much rain or snow. Well, it's back, and it's nationwide. Here's the national advisories, watches, and warnings. All kinds of colors. In the west, the gold and the brown, mostly wind warnings. Then you get into Wyoming and Utah. It's a snowstorm, winter storm warning. In Colorado, those blue marks there, avalanche warnings in Colorado. And then a bunch of dense fog in the gray. And then winter weather advisory for freezing rain in New England. It's raining with a temperature in the 20s in spots because it's warmer up in the sky than down on the ground. So it's liquid rain that falls and then freezes on contact. Let me come over here and watch these waves, and hopefully you'll still be able to hear me. So the pattern is locked and loaded. What was a very cold high for us now moves offshore, and here's the radar. Shows systems in the west. Got a swirl there in the Great Lakes. That's a decaying low in the Great Lakes that's pushing warmer air in our direction. Now, and I didn't mention it, but there's a severe thunderstorm watch in Texas already. That's heavy weather, and a squall line in Florida. So severe weather outbreak again today, second time in 3 days in the deep south. There's going to be a new low coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. So this one that's going off into Canada is just sort of the opening bell on a defrost in New England with a December thaw coming in. And most of us are going to be above freezing by tomorrow morning and stay there through probably Tuesday morning. The guidance is backed off a bit, though, on how much precipitation is coming in. It still looks like a pretty good slug, especially now Sunday night, early Monday. Here's the HRRR, and the pink is the freezing rain, and rain is green. So it's mostly just southern New England. This boundary is not moving too much today. It's going to stay cold and mostly dry in northern New England. Wind is going to increase, but nice day again for skiing. Skiing has been tremendous. And then the heavier rain doesn't even show up until after midnight tomorrow night. That's when this HRRR ends. You can see that's rain coming at us. And there may actually still end up being a thunderstorm, maybe waking us up on Monday morning. Here's the Shrewsbury, I call it 5-day meteogram, but look at the blue banner. It's now a 15-day meteogram, and I can't do it here because it's a static image, but if you go to weather.us and pick whatever town you want, you can now slide that meteogram out 15 days. We'll focus on the first 5 with the light off and on rain in Shrewsbury. I think it's pretty representative for New England if I were to pick one town. And it shows the temperature still at 50 with the downpours more likely on Sunday night and Monday morning. Otherwise, just drizzle and scattered showers. And then the temperature starts going down. So even though on Monday morning, I mentioned yesterday, possible record high low temperature, by midnight we're back down to 40 or lower. So that'll be the official low temperature for the day. So it's not going to be a record that goes into the books. Just a very warm start before the colder air comes back in. Looks like we have one day off there, Tuesday, New Year's Eve day, between storms before the next one comes in. It's going to be a colder storm coming in New Year's Eve. All right, so let's show the Euro. Try and get this done in a hurry. We've got spotty internet connection this checkout day. We're going to change locations. All right, here's the Euro. So our cold 1030 millibar high is going to be shifting or reestablishing over near Bermuda. So we have a little Bermuda high, and that southeastern United States ridge pops. Another low is forming and deepening. Severe weather in the southeast comes in as decaying thunderstorms for us tomorrow night and Monday morning. Now I think most of Monday is going to end up dry, except maybe in Maine, and it is going to turn colder. And whatever kind of thaw we have in northern New England is going to be pretty much over at that point. And then it gets real tricky. We're going to get systems coming at us, one every 36 hours there on New Year's Eve. Here comes another low, and this one's going to track further south, and it's colder. So a rain snow line on New Year's Eve, probably after midnight, pretty close to Manchester, New Hampshire. That's a powerful storm, and it's going to get real windy and cold on the backside of that. You can't really go by the rain snow line on this one yet, but what you can go by, and this is really high confidence, it's in every model, is the fact that we are going to have low barometer cold, with that low going north, deepening and stalling to the north in the 970s, 977 next Wednesday, Thursday. Here we are back on our Wednesday, Thursday storm timetables. And then it looks like we do get a couple days off where it's just really windy and really cold. Maybe not record cold, because the heart of that high pressure system is actually in Western Canada, extending all the way down into the southeastern United States. Wow, wow, wow. And we just have days and days of upslope snow. Low barometer cold is instability, and it makes it snow. Very windy where I am, but I've got hopefully my back to the wind so you can still hear me well. That's why I'm talking a little louder. Okay, I'll calm down. And stop it at day 10. Oh no, what's that? Is that a cutter? Is that a 980 something low in the Great Lakes with a southwesterly flow with a rain snow line coming at New England with snow in southern New England? Now way out to Monday, January 6th or whatever that is. Oh no, a cutter with an Arctic air outbreak? I don't think so. I think that low is somehow going to find its way to the south coast of New England. And somewhere again in a January 7th or so, we have another winter storm coming at us. And that would certainly be mostly snow in northern New England, and the jury would be out in southern New England. And then the air behind that is even colder than the outbreak that's coming to start off 2025, and probably colder than that one we had a couple of weeks ago. I think the lowest temperature we've seen in Mount Washington so far this season was 14 below, and we'll match that next week, and we'll probably outdo that. This is going to be the heart of January, and my guess would be that somewhere around January 10th or 12th, somewhere in there, would probably be around 20 or 30 below on Mount Washington. So yes, the old-fashioned winter should continue. All right, I think that's going to be doing it for the weather part of this. It was good to hear from everybody in New England yesterday. I think it was great to see Josh getting a powder run. He said probably the last powder run I'm going to have for some time. 8 o'clock. He loves it when the sun doesn't come over the mountain until 8 o'clock. So thank you, Josh. And we'll see a photo of Wilson, your beautiful dog, who is maybe just experienced his last Christmas. That's kind of heartbreaking to know a pet is in his last days. But he was out playing in the snow yesterday, and so Josh and then us here. Yesterday, I didn't see too many animals. Do we have any more animals? We'll see a couple in the end more. I did go in the water, so I took the camera in the water, and look, I think it's still functioning. And we'll close it out with the long-promised nighttime sounds. I've been talking about a cacophony of sounds, and we get an explainer from one of the our hosts here as he lights the evening fire on what those sounds are. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to try and eat a frog. So I get this nice walking stick I just picked up. Click it. I'm going to go over here and maybe or maybe not get soaked. But watching these waves hit this little huge boulder right here is kind of fun. All right, so we'll do this for a second or two. I'll try not to get soaked, and we're going to transition to the and more with some observations from the middle of the day, curious clouds moving in different directions. I might be able to figure out the weather if I spend another week here. Oh, I am going to spend another week here. All right, one more wave for this rock. It's not, a couple of them went right over the top of it. That's it. All right, here's the and more from yesterday. 1:35 p.m., mid-80s, slightly less humid. The sky really cleared out nicely in the last hour or two. It was a gray morning. And now we get some convection. Sky is mixed. We've got a weak front nearby. It's been a couple days since we've had a rainbow. What do you got? That's actually a cumulus moving in the opposite direction as not from the east. It's coming in a little bit from the west, unless it's an optical illusion. Yesterday I was talking about the Farmer's Almanac. Now I found this book from 1973, Heinz Wagner, Meteorology, Forecasting the Weather, and really interesting, talking about the, you know, all books start with weather extremes. The barometer invented in the 1600s, talking about who knows what happened when land swallowed up a number of lives, not only in the Great North Sea floods of 1170 and 1570, but also the Baltic floods of 1304 and 1872. February 15, 1695, Horseman rode unwittingly over the frozen lake of Lake Constance and was shocked to discover afterwards the perilous journey he had made. And then in the very back, all these historic world records, including the Australian record for rainfall in 24 hours, 36 inches. Does that still exist? World lowest temperature, 88 below 0 Celsius. Russian Vostok, Antarctica, 1960. And let's see, highest annual rainfall, 354 inches, South America. Highest temperature in South America, 120 degrees, 11 December 1905. Do these still hold? What about Australia? World record for duration of heat in Marble Bay, Western Australia, 162 consecutive days with a temperature at 37.8 degrees Celsius. So on and so on and so on. Extreme weather is not new. Before the sun comes up, all day long, after the sun goes down, there's one sound that is ubiquitous here. That is that big red rooster. He's large and in charge of his family. He only does not crow when I'm pointing my camera at it. So as the sun goes down over the hill, I will leave us with the long promised cacophony of evening and overnight sounds. Hopefully I can get some bats and dragonflies that have plenty to eat around here. Okay, so the sun has gone down over the hill here. Beautiful tall cumulus casting shadows up onto the altocumulus wall above. The air coming from different directions, prevailing easterlies, and some convergence, producing some showers around, but not here, so no rainbow right now. But we are literally in the Atlantic Ocean. Janet made a video of me. Oh, nice. Oh, camera wet here again. And so we'll conclude now and more with the darkening sights and mostly the sounds of the night here in Tortola. Crickets and frogs mostly. And also the roosters go all night. All right, different door tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully my camera still works. It's getting quite salty. And this is where the bats will come out shortly. But in the meantime, very interesting bird. It's like a tiny hawk or something. Very poorly lit, but clearly a bird. Can I get some better lighting on you? Any chance you could fly down here and land on my camera or hand? All right, I'm gonna try and shake this tree just to get that bird to fly. This is a baby coconut or palm tree. Bye-bye, sorry. The night noises just started. Crickets, frogs, Venus. Let's see if we can find some bats. Ornamental grasses. People on their patios in the bungalows. This is where I saw the most bats the other night. Lighting is going to be a challenge, obviously. What are all these noises we hear coming out of the jungle? Like crickets and...
No, crickets, that's crickets.
Frogs, maybe?
The frogs make the if you hear something like that, like when you're walking in the woods and you hear something going the frogs make that sound. The big jumbo frogs.
Oh.
But only once in a while you will hear that if I don't know if it lives close to the water around there, or if it's rain, if it rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of fun noises.
Yeah, but they're harmless. If you see any big frogs, you just chase them away or hit them and they run like crazy.
Can we have them for dinner?
No. no one really eat them, like that.
Not like that.
I don't think there's a...
So we get calypso music tonight.
Yeah, he play different type of music as well, I'll be back.
I'll be here. Coconut tree without any coconuts. And sorry, no bats. So maybe we just have to be patient and wait for the deeper darkness and the louder sounds. Appreciating all the input from our friends up at J Peak Resort. Josh and Wilson, T-Rex and Larissa, Scott and Kim getting the sundog and the sunset over Fallon's Pond. Bats just are not out tonight. There are fewer bugs. I don't know. There's a star right next to Venus. Can you see it? And a planet appears just to the upper right of Jupiter. It's that Mars? And a couple of stars. Should have looked at my night sky on timeanddate.com before coming out. All right, so it doesn't look like we're gonna get any bats, but deeper into the night I'll get some more sound and we'll play it out with a time lapse of both Bass River Beauty sunset. Cam just came back online about 3, and Weymouth day long as we begin a December thaw that'll last in southern New England into 2025. So it's been a very cold month. From here on in, Nat Sound. Thanks for watching. See you in 24 hours. Talk to you in 24 hours from a different door. That's Sean right there. Great guy. Take care of people and business. Venus. I would love to see whatever's making this noise. Alas, I'll never know. Out the door again tomorrow.